On this episode of Gamer Dad, we're going to be talking about PS4 Spider-Man.
You're a menace to the city, Spider-Man, and I'm going to expose you.
If your spider sense is tingling, don't worry, we will be as spoiler-free as possible. Okay, let's just dive in, talk Spidey. Our first consideration is, what is my time commitment with this game? So the map of New York kind of functions similarly to like an Assassin's Creed game, where there are police towers that you unscramble, and that will open up different regions of the city. And as you open up these regions, you are able to do all of these collectible runs. You can kind of find old Spider-Man memorabilia, and all of that stuff earns you experience points and then also other kinds of tokens that allow you to upgrade your gear. And what's great is that the story gives you breathing room so you can kind of explore the city without feeling like you're being rushed through the game. This one is so much fun that you will get swept up in it, but you can also limit yourself and kind of play the game at your own pace. Okay, our second consideration, what makes Spider-Man worth your time? Insomniac, who published the game, really got their web slinging right. While the travel's really cool, the combat is also really cool and very reminiscent of the Batman Arkham games. So it's just you taking on groups of henchmen, but unlike the Batman Arkham games, the combo multipliers in Spider-Man are a little bit more forgiving, and also the storyline is just kind of light and fun in a way that a lot of superhero movies are not nowadays. And then really just the other thing that makes it worth your time is how much there is to do. There's stuff everywhere. There's robberies to foil and collectibles to find and gear to unlock. It's a game that kind of gives you the freedom to play it however you want to. Okay, the third and maybe the most important consideration, since you're going to be spending so much time moving around the city and in and out of combat, what is this game's twitchability? The difficulty settings in the game, in a nod to the Spider-Man comics, are friendly, amazing, and spectacular. So in this case, there's no shame in friendly mode. And the game has a bunch of other options that you can turn on and off to help with your rapidly degenerating reflexes. The bane of my video game existence is QuickTime events. I hate QuickTime events. You can actually adjust them in a couple different ways. You can hold for QuickTime events, or you can turn them off altogether. As I said before, the combat chains are similar to Batman Arkham games, but here it's a little bit more forgiving with the timing. The controls become a little bit more intuitive the more that you play, but there are certain situations that drive me a little nuts. Chasing down cars or drones becomes really frustrating if you can't keep up and keep that target in your sight and you're just button mashing. Okay, final thoughts with Spider-Man. There are a couple times where the movement is a little bit frustrating if you're not paying attention to what buttons you're hitting, but on the whole, it is fun, it's forgiving, it's got a great story, and the combat is really satisfying. I'm not a completionist in video games by any stretch of the imagination, but I found myself more often than not tracking down all of the things that you can find in this game. And of course, just getting from point A to point B can be a lot of fun as you're swinging around these tall skyscrapers and running up walls and looking into windows, and that sounded creepy. And what's great about this game is that you can pick it up and play it in bits, as much or as little as you want or have time to do. Thanks for watching. Leave us some comments if there's games that you want us to check out, or if you want to leave your gamer tag. And remember, there's no shame in friendly mode.